Welcome to Downstairs and Dragons, where we play D&D in our basement as per tradition. I'm Samantha, your DM. We are doing Candlekeep Mysteries, and my players are Josh playing Dorik, Dusty playing Clay, and Jacob playing Pantheo. We are at the House of Binder, which is a building in the Candlekeep court for copying books. And Vaki told you to come here to get healed and to tell your story about the second quest. Before any of that happens, you guys enter into this building and they have you stay in this like front lobby area. It's very much like a post office. And they sit you down in chairs so that you don't get any of the paper books dirty. Standing there is the halfling that you met, Pesha.
Oh god, it's been a long time.
Sorry. I have to find where I put her.
I feel like we haven't played this in forever.
Oh, that's right. None of my stuff got put in. I should have done that between episodes. NPC Pesha.
Piss off.
Pesha!
I saw the face.
What?
The lady.
Oh, you guys saw Corbala?
Yep.
Yep, I saw her. So big.
So juicy.
She's actually very little compared to all of you.
Very.
Pesha gives you guys kind of a dirty look. She's a little snot bucket. She looks at you, turns away, and eventually Vaki enters and goes, "Oh, good. You're here, Pesha. Pesha and Clay, I'm going to talk about your books first. So you both turned in manuals on how to do different types of monk fighting, and we have compiled them into the same collection. Actually, Pesha, the reason you're here is Clay's has completed your collection.
That's their monk.
Clay has turned in what we are using as the beginner book in the collection.
It's only the best book. What? Beginner?
Such a slight.
Pesha's like, huh, can I see this? And they bring out the collection and she goes, well, clearly you haven't actually completed the collection because you're missing the Book of the Open Hand. You know, the legendary monk book that I'm here looking for? Yes, Pesha, that's not going to be in the collection. That's too rare. The collection is for any monks who come to read about monk things. This will be the default collection we give them to read.
Oh, look at that. My book's in there.
Yours is the first book. It has been not necessarily reworked, but they made sure that there are no smudges. They cleaned up the pages a little bit.
But you want to know what's awesome about that? You want to know what's awesome about that? Every single monk that's going to check it out, like is considering monk stuff, is going to see my book. Because it's the beginning.
She
They're
grabs
either
it and
going
looks
to
at
fall out.
it. She goes, just pictures?
That's all you need.
It works. Here's mine.
Pesha, what are letters?
She pulls out hers. And as you page through this book, Clay, expecting to have to use the circlet of comprehend languages, you realize it's all pictures.
Oh, sick.
But each page, the pictures move. This book is enchanted with illusion magic, and you're literally watching the combat techniques from different angles, from above, from the side, from the back. And it just repeats like a GIF.
Is this like Devil May Cry when you get a new move or a new weapon, you can like demo or test it?
She goes, yes, I wrote this myself.
Oh my god! Fucking kill me now!
That is quite. Are we there?
Mm-hmm.
This is quite interesting, actually. Very nice craftsmanship.
Well, thank you. The Vistani don't make anything poor.
They're
No,
kind of snooty.
Clay?
I'm a proud people.
That's fantastic.
Well, if that's all you had to show me, I'll be going. She goes to leave and literally steps through mist and disperses.
Like, counter spell. I'm joking.
Oh,
I don't even have counter
okay.
spell.
That's third level stuff.
Vaki looks at them and goes, well, teleportation is typically not possible. For some reason, the Vistani can do it anyway. In Candlekeep, anyway.
She's kind of a bitch.
I bet you it's because she had a crush on me.
You have people.
She full on insulted you to your face.
That's
what they all do when they're in the...
Fair enough.
Anyway, otherwise, as for the, both of you, your journals have been done similar work to. We can show you. We've actually made copies of all your journals, so if you'd like to buy copies of what you've turned in, you can.
How much?
The originals are being put away. Maybe a gold.
I'll do that.
Okay. You guys all buy copies of your original work.
I would. Yep.
Cool. So you guys
100%.
now all have your
Yeah.
original work. So Clay, you have your hand-drawing stick figures of how to rough house.
Yeah.
Pantheo, and all of your books were given a title. Like if you didn't have a title, it has a title and it has who wrote it and when it was turned in, and a general table of contents was put in. And then any smudges or tear stains or anything were cleaned up. Pantheo, you are given a forager's drawings of the High Forest by Pantheo Sable. And it kind of classifies what you found. If it had a name already, they put a name there, or they put some blanks. But you have a copy. And Dorik, you are given your notes on your alchemy testings, and it's the experiments of an alchemist cleric by Dorik Vaas.
Mine was actually jewelry designs.
So sorry. You were given back your jewelry designs, and it's Leonin. They misinterpreted what you did. They think it's special because they think these are traditional Leonin culture jewelry. So that's what they have classified it as, is cultural jewelry of Leonin by Dorik Vaas. So that's what you were given back. So yours will be actually moved to a cultural section on races, and Pantheo, yours will be moved on nature guides of, well, anything of the High Forest, because there's not much known about the High Forest in general. So yours goes to a small section of the High Forest. Both of yours are going to be put in the inner library. The original of yours, Clay, is being put in the inner library, but a copy is going to be kept out in this collection and put in the Pillars of Pedagogy. So, you guys get healed up. You tell your story, and it's kind of goofy because there's some things you guys are hiding and some things you guys are lying about. But they generally get a short story version of your quest. And they go, well, we are going to edit this. It is going to be written up in the Chronicle that goes out every month to the major cities of the Sword Coast to advertise Candlekeep. Those Chronicles sell for like 50 gold a month.
Wait a minute, did you just create rivals for us? Is that what the goal of that was? Of Snooty Bitch?
That's part of the module.
No, I actually created her because you said you wanted to witness other monk subtypes so you could decide what you want to do.
I'll figure that out, but it's like a rivalry. I'm gonna look at her and go like,
She's gone.
monks only fools. Keep it tight.
So, actually, she goes, and Clay, this collection is actually going to be put in your study room for you to read. I understand.
All the monk stuff?
Yeah, this collection in general. Now, we understand that you are reading about all the different creatures and spirits and things of this world, but we thought you should see the collection that your book is a part of. So Baki then brings her cowboy hat down.
Anything to kind of keep my mind off of Hilarion.
And she looks down at some notes that she has, because you know she's always carrying that little book, and the notes...
I forgot the book now.
Fuck that bitch.
The notes are tucked into her book like a bookmark. So she opens her book, reads the notes, and goes, oh yes, and you have an appointment, Pantheo, with the plague visitors. I shouldn't call them that. Scribbles. With the seekers for the cure for the plague at about 9:30 a.m. So you guys both have time to go eat breakfast. And then after that, we would like to enlist your help mopping up the blood and poison in the courtyard.
Can I have access to some of the materials from you, please?
You'll have to ask the blacksmith.
I am a blacksmith.
You are an assistant troll person to the blacksmith.
I am a blacksmith.
You will need to go ask your supervisor.
He is the
We
blacksmith.
killed this thing.
You did it within.
Do we get paid for this?
It is put as a list of chores that you are completing, so you don't have to pay for your room. If you don't like it, you can leave Candlekeep. Thanks, bye.
Well, I could just kill her.
So she goes back to work. Pantheo, you are going to go share your findings with the... And you guys have breakfast. You go and share your findings, so you end up in that same room.
I gotta go talk to some old crones about some fungus.
There are avowed there, so it's the same beautiful, like, starry
Silly Dusty.
room.
Silly Dusty.
Oh.
Did I get rid of that picture?
Did we already tell our story to them?
Yeah.
We went.
I asked them to leave my name out of it.
Yes. Yeah, that's very easy and acceptable. Yes.
Anthea, would you like that as well?
Also, I want to check for that.
Panthea's like, yeah, what? I'm fine.
You would like
The unarmored movement for
I don't care.
once. Does it increase? It doesn't increase 10 feet each level, correct? It's just.
No.
Yeah, that's you have 10 plus 10 at that. You have plus 10 at that. Okay.
As we go on, Pantheo just kind of like thinks about how much his book can actually fuck him over if he ever loses it.
I love that card. I'm so proud of that Deck of Many Things card.
Also,
Because it's helpful and not.
It's like if
It's
he's like
terrifying.
literally after trying to hide some of the information from it, he realizes that if he ever loses it from his body, it will fuck over him deeply.
It's like a wizard in a spell book, but a little worse. A little worse.
Literally, someone could steal it, and they would know everything you do.
Everything. They'd know where I was. Yeah, it's bad. So he's kind of out of it. He's a little focused on the story, realizing the power that it truly has. What? I'm sorry, what was that, Dorik?
Would you like to have them take your name off of the thing that will be sent out to all of the Sword Coast to read?
Do you think any copies will make it to the High Forest?
The post office person looks back and goes, "Oh, if a chronicle makes it out that far, if they read it, of all the recently brought in books, and then they send an adventurer out to purchase a copy, then yes."
Well, do you believe where all is sent up entire Sword Coast?
Mm-hmm.
All the way north
Mm-hmm.
to Luskan?
We make it all the way to Neverwinter. It's hard to get it to Icewind Dale.
Okay. Then yes, please leave. Could you leave mention of me out?
We usually do. We leave people's names out.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, if you leave my name out, I guess that's okay. I was hoping that my family would see it. I think that'd be pretty cool.
You could ask, you could do.
Hey,
It's really up to you.
it's fine. Just leave my name out. It's safer that way.
All right. Thank you for coming to the House of Binder. If you'd like to purchase any copies of the books that you read, please come see us. Thank you. And their hands are so interesting because they're very withered for their ages because of all of the writing and the fine printing, and like they carve their own printing press pieces. So they have the hands of someone who works with their hands a lot. And no amount of healing can really get rid of aging. Their hands are like aging twice as fast as their faces from all the work they do.
You need some balm.
And you can see that many of them have like wraps around their wrists to keep them. But it's a work of love that they love doing. And they ultimately get to read and work at the same time, so it's a really good setup for them. So we're gonna have a couple things happen. You wanted to talk to the blacksmith, Dorik. Clay, I'm gonna say that you look through the book that Pesha has written, and it shows you the subclass of the elemental monk, the Way of the Elements.
4 elements.
I would like it's either message me or say out loud if you like the Way of the 4 Elements or not, because I am going to roleplay the result of you reading that. And then Pantheo, you are going to go talk. do you want to full-on roleplay everything, or do you just want to say, I tell them everything?
I do love roleplay.
Okay. So you go to this beautiful study room that you've been in several times. It has beautiful creamy golden stone pillars holding up the ceiling. There's this beautiful starry sky mural. There's big maps where they have maps of where the plague is. They have all the books of what has already been read, what hasn't been read. They have all the notes on what's been tried, what hasn't, literally all over the walls. And Amamala has been there as an assistant. She is there now. She has been helping straighten up the notes that the actual readers are making, because the readers at this point have so much knowledge. They can read the book and determine what even needs to be bothered to be taken as a note and what doesn't, what's just repeat knowledge. So that's what she has been compiling for them. A lot of these people either have emblems of Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate, like any of the guilds, like the Harper's Guild. I'm totally blanking on a bunch of the other guilds, but whatever guilds have sent
Emerald
people to study.
Enclave.
Yes, definitely Emerald Enclave, definitely.
Black Hand.
Maybe not the Black
The Fist.
No, they're not really. But maybe, yeah. Okay,
Emerald Enclave for
so
sure.
people who are invested in this being solved. And there's druid circles too, so there's druids here, wizards,
A lot of people here, man.
and they're all kind of running around, but they know that a bell is going to chime when you're ready to talk. Some of them look much, much older than you, and they're all different races.
Oh.
And some look much, much younger than you. There's everything. Humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, tieflings, Azamar, everything. You even swear you see a Myconid in the back. Like way in the back, away from all the things that could be ruined by their spores.
I'm gonna have to talk to him later.
Yeah, and then... But yeah, they're all very professional. No one's really eccentric. No one's really unprofessional. No one has a lot of personality. They are there to work. And they probably have lost a little bit of their personality due to burnout. There are things in here that are trying to calm them. There's incense smoking. There's bottles of wine that aren't really strong. They're just nice fruit wines. There's snacks. Like, they're trying to keep the steam going.
Yeah.
And the room is not really set up as an auditorium. So when you stand up to talk to them, there is like a box that they set up at a podium for you to stand on, and you're definitely by the entry doors to the room.
Okay. Where's the Mamala within the room?
Not all the way back, like halfway back to the side.
Ooh, she like. Panthea looks over. He wanted to talk to her quick, but she's so far away. She's like.
She sees you and waves and has like a stack of books.
Okay, he stands up on the box.
And you're surrounded by piles of books, medical records, all kinds of
I
things.
feel like I'm gonna knock something over. Who rings the bell?
Oh,
Where is the
you don't actually
bell?
see it happen because it's so crowded as people are getting ready. But you just hear like a boom.
Oh fuck! Jesus Christ!
They all stop talking, get quiet. You hear a couple pages turn. You hear some quills go into some jars as they stand up and turn to look at you. And they have done this several times before. It's whenever there's a big note that needs to be portrayed to everybody, the bell is rung.
It's pretty. Well, it got pretty quiet in the room.
Someone walks up to you. A raccoon folk.
Fuck yes.
Looks like a Mamala, but raccoon, and a little shorter and rounder and fluffier, and the tail just drags on the floor. It's like not kept upright like a cat's at all. This little raccoon person with their little hands.
Oh, what's that?
It has little notes
How's it going,
and
man?
moves the notes around and gets the one that it wants, and it goes. Very good, thank you. This is the agenda of what you'll be describing is who you are, where you found your new information, what your new information is.
Okay, you know what? Like, I'm gonna free ball a little bit. Hello, all nature-loving, mycelium researching folks. How are you doing today?
Okay. You hear a couple. Okay.
I thought I'd start this off with all of us taking a deep breath because I can feel that the tensions are high in here.
They all take a deep breath because it's so funny. They have done this several times.
Like literally, they have guided meditation on the hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Pantheo Sable. I hail from the High Forest. How do you do?
Hi. You hear a bunch of highs.
God, it's like this is okay. Pantheo realizes he does not like public speaking.
And you're just like a void with green eyes.
So I have discovered something about the Sarphonic Plague. Near, about halfway here between here and no, it's right out of Baldur's Gate, actually. Yep. About a day is out from Baldur's Gate, from the witch doctor Livnima. The snow leopard Tabaxi has
Scribbles.
Gave his like vision starts to like kind of like cone up and like extend out. It's just like panic is
vision.
Yeah, like panic is starting to happen. It's like
okay. The raccoon goes, "You're doing a good job. Now tell us what you learned."
There is a symptom of the Sarphonic Plague before the victims turn into ooze, where they emit into a zombie-like state, where their aggressions or aggressiveness turns much stronger. I believe the amygdala must be oversaturated. I shouldn't freeball like this. I'll live Nemo.
Someone raises a pencil, a quill.
With yes, you.
With the astounding rate at which the patient succumbs to the ooze, at what point do the symptoms project themselves?
In the case of Liv Nima's case study, it was 5 days or something. I can't remember.
Remember, she slowed it down.
That was another big part.
It's literally like right when they should be turning into the ooze. If they gain consciousness, like for the day that they are turning into the ooze, they turn into a zombie before the ooze.
So,
but for her, it was like 5 days.
I'm sorry, the kid. Just like pulls his collar again. The conditions vary. First of all, you must require a supreme cold environment. This tends to slow down the progression of the virus's progression, and with that, it also somehow reduces the transmission of the virus. It becomes less transmissible. I think Pantheo pukes.
You still have good notes. And they all start muttering amongst themselves as you throw up, and the raccoon comes up and goes,
Nicole,
to summarize, a doctor outside of Baldur's Gate who appears as a snow leopard tabaxi,
who has always winter around her,
was able to slow
the
progression of the plague with extreme cold. And thus was given a longer window to see the zombie-like behavior of the victim right before succumbing to the ooze. Is that correct?
Pantheo takes a deep breath, quickly kind of pulls out his sword and looks at the notes really quick. That is correct.
Those are all the noises in the room.
Very correct.
Would everyone please thank Pantheo Sable? And everyone quietly goes. A whole audience of applause for you.
Pantheo steps down from the box. He just like mutters to himself. It was a lot easier to try to talk to a group of rats.
I'm surprised you didn't just transform.
I should have.
You could have.
I should have just wild shaped, freaked out.
The raccoon then
runs
goes
away.
With this new information, our quick-witted friend. Hold on. Oloso will give new direction. The raccoon comes down.
How did you?
An elf. You're not really sure what kind of elf. Maybe wood elf.
Hey, that looks like a wood elf.
Yeah, but with like, and I love this is an old edition elf that they don't have anymore that I like using. Has almost like animal stripes and spots on their skin. Like, still looks like an elf, but it's not vitiligo. It's like a genuine pattern, like draft spot, or it's not actually draft spots, but it's splotches in a spot pattern across their whole skin. And in the old editions, these are painted elves. So this elf comes up. He is a shorter elven man. He has his hair pulled back into a ponytail. And the skin is anywhere from like a light cream to a dark umber for the different patterns. And he's got his brown eyes looking very piercingly at everyone. They all seem to just hang on his words as he goes, "This gives us new direction to give the Avowed. We are going to be reading anything that we can on the progression of zombification, whether it comes from magic, a curse, divine entity. However, with this being an illegal topic for many of us in our home cities, it will be difficult to get details on how to create and cure such a thing. We will get what we can and try to gain entry into the inner library for more. Please continue reading, but expect new details about necromancy to cross your table." And then they all kind of mumble amongst each other because this is a big deal. They'll be reading about necromancy, which is banned in most of their cities. And so a lot of the books will probably have to be read by their elders to determine if it's safe information to share. And then, so it's actually kind of like a huge mess, but also a really good direction that they haven't been finding studying mushrooms. They're going to be studying mummies that are created by bugs, mummies that are created by mushrooms, mummies that are created by magic, everything. So you basically extended what they can do.
Panthea.
And Mamala walks over to you.
Hey, Mama, you gotta tell it to me straight how'd I do?
She's rubbing your back and she's going, "Not the worst we've seen, actually. You're doing pretty good."
What? Who did worse than me?
How tall is a normal?
Oh,
Short.
she's not as tall as you, but she's almost as, okay, you're tall for a tabaxi, aren't you, Pantheo?
I think I'm 6'5" is what I said.
Okay, so she's about the same height as a tabaxi would be, but you're very tall. So she's probably like 5'8". Even 5'8" is a little short. 5'10".
Really just, what was worse than fucking puking while being up there?
Oh, I mean, dying?
Someone died?
Yes.
What? Did
Who?
they bring someone with the plague up there just to watch them die?
Someone walked in. It was a big deal. It apparently was before me. It was before now. Because the Candlekeep has been very good at keeping the plague out. For some reason, this person wasn't contagious. It was a big deal. They were immediately brought out of Candlekeep and taken to a clinic to be, what is it called, that you cut open bodies and look at them?
Autopsies?
Yes, yes, autopsy, yes. My village never did things like that, so I don't know. But no, that was very helpful. I'm a little nervous about reading what was described. This kind of ventures into some really scary territory.
Yeah, hearing like the whole necrotic thing is kind of scary. As he feels kind of this like necrotic chill down his spine as his spores kind of like flash out in like almost like rebellion, like how dare you speak against like our nature of necrosis.
Oh, yeah. Well, because with the mushroom, it's just its nature.
Yeah.
It's more so like necromancy that's against the cell's nature. That's the problem. But yeah.
Did I see a myconid in here?
Oh, yes, that is a new person who was brought in for study. Because we were hoping that they could go get a sample without becoming sick themselves. So, unfortunately, they'll be leaving on a suicide mission soon to become infected.
I'd like to go talk with them.
We can try. I'll take you back there. She kind of weaves between all the people because it's very full today. and you guys are like right up tight against the wall, going past these books on the shelves. And there are other people around this myconid that is kind of sitting on the floor in the corner, just like self-comforting because of how many people there are and how psychic myconids are. Is self-soothing in the corner, like rocking side to side.
Hello.
And it doesn't speak into your mind. It looks up at you, and the spores kind of are breathed into your lungs. And you hear in your brain,
as he kind of extended his spores to me, and I do the same when I expend my spores to him.
and it kind of lets off like happy noises, and the mushrooms and release a few like colorful, pretty spores. It almost looks like a roar of rainbows around him.
Hi. I wanted to ask you something.
What is your question?
He's like, he kind of gestures to the spores around him.
He's got lots of like plate mushrooms, turkeys, chicken and blue.
I'm talking about Pantheo's spores.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I'm not really sure. I just, these came out of nowhere, and I wanted to know if you knew anything about the types of spores I have. One day after the market, after I visited one of the vendors, I woke up the next day and I had these spores. And I'm just, do you know what they are? Like, what it means? I'm kind of confused by them.
They are you.
Huh?
You are the spores.
I am the spores.
They are you.
I am the spores. Am I now you, that you have some of my spores?
No. Just as one of you has those pumping things, those pumping, breathing things. Each thing inside of you is different, but they're all you. If you were to look closely at their particles, they are slightly different from one another. The bones, the blood, but they're all still you. The spores you have are just another part of you.
Huh. Pantheo never really thought about it that way. And he's like, the spores are me. And he really kind of like focuses on that idea. And you think, thank you. Thank you. You've helped me a lot. And as he just like focuses more and more on this like idea of the spores are you, the spores sink into him and then begin to grow as he finally does for the first time wild shape into his fungus entity.
The others kind of go, like, because they think it's like the plague, and Imama's like, it's a druid! It's a druid. It's a druid. It's a druid. A couple other druids are like
What the fuck is that?
yeah.
Yeah, he has these big kind of like stocky, or not stocky mushrooms, but like the
like bark skin, stone skin.
Yeah, so that's like kind of going down his chest, but then like pauldrons are like the big bells of the mushrooms. And
Do you know what you should have on there? The ink cap. They bleed black.
that's kind of sick. Yeah, I think they're ink-cap mushrooms, so it's like these kind of like black, kind of white heads, as he just kind of gets dressed in these mushrooms and grows a
But
little bit.
you're still a Black Panther just covered in mushrooms?
Yeah, and he grows in stature as well. I mean, I could check out the description of what the fungal entity actually does, but he finally sinks into himself and realizes that this is something he's capable of.
And Mama kind of like, and decides not to say anything.
And like in his head, he's trying to connect with the mic, and like, I feel whole.
You always were.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking about this with me. I hope to see you again.
And you as well. What do you go by? I am known as Pantheo.
Right?
Light, but
Light?
with a trill.
Right? Right, I will hold you in my memory.
You are in mine.
And with that, he gives him a little bow, and he walks
And
away.
And says goodbye.
He's pretty fucking sick, man. I'm a mushroom man!
And Mama was like, Let's get you out of this room. Let's go.
He pukes again.
Okay.
Tries to
let's go.
he catches it in his paws.
Uh.
He's fucking gross.
Let's get you out of here.
Yes, I think I need to leave.
Meanwhile, Dorik, you did really good. Thank you, Panda.
That was fun.
Dorik, you head over to the blacksmith to ask if you can have some of the carving parts of the deep dragons. And running around, actually, not even running around. The gnome that you know, who I can't remember his name. Did you ever find it? Okay, we'll just make up a new name. And I know we can just go watch the video. Oh, I can just watch the video. The little gnome guy who helps you do your chores and make sure you do your chores correctly, is talking to the tiefling, Sober. Sober is clutching very tightly the stone on his necklace, as the gnome is kind of being pushy. Like, come on, are you serious? You're really not going to let me... Why'd you walk over here then if you're not going to let me at least take a look at it? What am I supposed to do? Working blind from all these pages and no pictures. And Saber's like, I have been considering your request. But when you act like that, I just want to walk away from you. And so they're like bickering.
Hello. How are you doing, small man?
Ah, it's you! What do you need? He is willing to ditch the conversation with Sober to talk to you.
As you know, dragons were attacking. I was hoping to potentially get some parts of it.
He laughs in your face, which is a little rude. Ha! Are you kidding? Monsters fall from the sky into our lap, into our territory, and are killed by employees of this facility, and you think you can just take some with you?
Are killed by me.
As staff of Candlekeep.
I never signed agreement to be staff here.
Well then why didn't you stay inside?
Because I'm a good person. Why were you not outside?
Good person wants a cut of the earnings for Candlekeep.
I do not want a cut of earnings. I want to take part and make crafts.
Yeah, that is... No. No. All of it is going to be sold off for Candlekeep's funds.
What does Candlekeep mean?
If you would like to buy some of the parts, you can wait until market. We'll be selling it to the next wholesale caravan.
I guess I will just not show you the book that I found then. Have a good day.
Wait. Come back here. He looks at Sober, he goes, you come back. Goes to you. As someone who will be cleaning the bones, what parts were you thinking you wanted?
A claw maybe? Couple scales.
Well, that's not much. What book do you find and where?
I'm putting out the book that I got from...
The halfling written book that you got from the farmer.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know I have it here. Here it is. And you haven't even really had a chance to read it yet.
To be honest with you, I have barely grazed some of its contents.
He grabs it from you, takes a look, sees that it's written by a halfling. And, I'll just go to actually. He takes a look at it. He goes, of course. Of course a halfling wrote in fucking riddles. Okay, this is nothing new. He reads through a few pages. I'm a gnome.
What's the difference?
Very different. It's of no use to me. I'll see what I can do to get you some scales and things, but you'll be crafting them here in this forge.
That is fine.
See what I can do. What'd you think of the book I sent you? You find anything?
A few things. Not too very helpful in long run. I mean, it was helpful to point in direction, but do not think that Elminster has shared his information.
That's the point. But anyone who talks of Elminster is going to mention his name. Elminster wouldn't write, I, Elminster, have the alchemical formula for the Philosopher's Stone, blah, blah, blah. He's never going to write that. But every time you see the words Elminster in a book, it's going to be someone referencing him as a teacher, referencing someone who is trying to mimic what Elminster did. So every time you see the word Elminster in a book, you are getting closer.
It's very weird that they called it an egg.
Yeah, that is weird.
Why would he call egg? It's a stone. It's just like...
No, the stone is a stone.
Exactly.
You read that and you thought that the egg he was talking about was the stone?
Yes.
Alright, you have a good day. He goes back into the blacksmith.
What kind of egg is it?
He goes back to work.
What kind of egg is it?
You big dummy, you got a brain rolling around in all that fur.
Yes.
Does the fur grow behind your eyeballs too?
I have not checked. I would guess no.
The egg. Are you kidding me? I have to spell this out for you.
What kind of egg?
A stone's egg.
Stone.
Where do you think the stone is born from?
Stones do not have child.
This boy.
How would stone have child? It hasn't... It hasn't...
How do you create something from nothing?
Do you know what vagina is?
Yes. You don't make the egg from a vagina.
But
The other blacksmiths are hearing this at this point and like looking over and going, what the fuck?
you cannot have child without...
Did you even
Vagina.
read that book? He says he's trying to make the egg.
Is he fucking something?
No, he lists alchemical formulas. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is listing alchemical formulas. But
You have a cat's brain. Do you shit in a box?
everyone is bathroom. Bathroom is square.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
That was a good response. Panthea would have attacked.
I do not think you understand.
I don't think you
You
understand.
cannot have child without vagina.
An egg
An egg, yes.
is not a child.
But egg becomes child.
Egg becomes stone.
Egg. If egg becomes stone, then that is not what? How do you birth stone? Do you shove rock up your vagina?
You make an alchemical formula. He is describing all the alchemical formulas he tried to use to make the egg.
Why did he not just find chicken?
You do that. Go try it.
There are many things.
Go find a chicken.
There are many things.
Go get an egg.
There
Turn it into the Philosopher's Stone. I would like to hear about it.
There are many things.
I'll give you entire dragon out in that courtyard. I'll give you all 5 of them. I'll give you all 5 of them if you can make a chicken egg turn into a Sorcerer's Stone.
How about Goldsworth?
I don't fucking have any money. Are you kidding me?
Then how can you give away Candlekeep's resources?
Because I would do something in exchange.
Like what?
I don't know. They have more value than you. I can make things that the wizards here need. That the readers here want.
Like what?
I'm not calling. Get out of my shop. I'll see you at your next chore time.
No, you won't. Goodbye. I just looked at some of the other ones. I think he is virgin. He does not know how babies are.
They roll their eyes at you.
He's a very weird man. Goodbye.
So you leave the blacksmith. Clay, what have you been up to? Have you been working on moving into your new room? Or have you been reading about the way of the elements.
I've been reading.
Do you want to choose that for Clay, or do you think he doesn't really like it?
I think he doesn't really like it.
Okay. I got something for you.
Clay. It's kind of basic, and it's a little. It seems too complicated for that boy.
Fair enough.
Clay, you're looking at these pictures, and it doesn't feel like classic, good old roughhousing to you. It feels like this weird, fancy, magical version of slap fighting. And you were really hoping for some, like, complicated, in-depth maneuvers that would really take advantage of the way someone's body moves and the way weight physically distributes over the engineering masterpiece that is a skeleton. You were looking for ways to push yourself physically to be not much more than you were born. And while you're feeling these ways, looking at this book, the book seems to vibrate in your hands. The pages seem to turn on their own suddenly as if a wind blew by. You look around the library of fireflies and it is still. There is no one else here except for the fireflies hitting the sides of their jars.
Universe?
You hear a weird, distorted laugh inside your own ears. The door shuts. Or the book shuts. The book slides off the table onto the ground. And burned into the desk starts writing the letters. Not for your hands.
Okay.
You sit at the desk looking at the etched-in burns in the wood. You glance over at the book on the dark indigo carpet. As you sit and think, that way of fighting isn't for you. I mean, you kind of had that feeling already, but for it to be ripped from you,
No, that's a little rude. Maybe now because of my PDA. Maybe I want to do Way of the Four Elements now.
As you're staring in silence,
Oh my goodness!
all of a sudden there's a white figure standing at the bottom of the stairs in the library with you. You jump a little because it's like she's a ghost standing there.
Sup? Hey, big boy.
She looks over at you. Sorry, I felt something happen down here. Are you alright?
That book don't like me.
The book doesn't like you, or you don't like it?
A little bit of both. It's mutual dislikeness.
She goes over and picks it up and looks and goes, "Oh, I see it as Pesha's book."
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Was she Way of the Four Elements?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't choose that.
Well, it's been passed down by a very long line of ancestors before her.
Oh, so she didn't write the book.
She did finish the enchantments on it. Well, more like she did the performance while someone else in her family enchanted it. The Vistoni are very familial people. For her to even have left them at all pains her every day.
Mm.
Might account for her attitude.
Mm.
Again, my name is Avora, and you said your name is Clay?
Howdy.
Do you feel anything in the air? You don't absorb the world around you? What about within you? Does your blood ever feel like it's on fire?
I mean, when I get angry, I get super warm and heated.
Do you ever feel a deeper voice from within your skull?
Sometimes. But my friends have told me that sometimes I say what's in my head, thinking that I'm saying it in my head, but I actually say it out loud.
You're having trouble differentiating what's within and what's out?
Kinda.
Have you looked into draconic magic? Dragons can have similar struggles when they're hatchlings.
Interesting.
Pesha said you weren't even reading monk books, so I'm surprised to see you reading this one. That you were actually looking into creatures and the diversity of this world?
Kinda, yeah.
That sounds to me like the cares of a dragon.
Well, I mean, I kinda... Well, I originally came here to help try to find a way to stop the curse that was going on in my town, and then I learned a bunch of things that I thought were not real are real. And I looked like a really cool guy when I found out that stuff that I thought wasn't real was real.
What kind of curse?
What?
What kind of curse?
Oh, it was the...
Remember I gave you a bunch of details of things that were happening?
Yeah. I was gonna look at my notes.
Sure, that's fine. You start racking your brain.
All the crops were dying. I believe animals also were dying. A lot of stuff. It was like
people were
everything.
getting sick. People were weak. Couldn't work anymore. That's interesting. Were you Did your town have any issues before, or was this all sudden?
I think it was pretty sudden.
Nothing weird ever happened, like the clouds moving in weird ways, or water tasting different?
Not that I can remember.
What?
Nobody.
Why?
Do you remember you and I out of game had a conversation of weird things that happened that just seemed like those things would happen everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
I know that was like a couple months ago that we talked about this, but do you remember any of those examples?
I think you did say the water tasted weird and just stuff wasn't right.
Mm-hmm. But you just thought, oh, every town has little weird things.
Yes, that's right. Every town has its little flaws, and that was just, just water here tastes a little different.
Okay. I think you should read some books on some dragons. Would that interest you?
I mean, I get what?
No.
Oh, well, I guess.
Because the other option for subclass was the draconic monk, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. If you have questions on dragons, I'd be happy to talk about them. I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Ew. Well, I apologize on behalf of those dragons.
On behalf of my father.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to overstep.
That's alright. He is still alive and isn't a terrible father, but is very different from the other elves. That's why I don't really get along with them as much as I think I should. I wasn't raised with them.
Well, thank you.
Well, if you do have a draconic soul in you, don't lose your humanity. Don't let it overtake you.
Oh,
You're still one of society.
well, now I'm scared.
I use draconic powers too, and I'm still here.
What do you do?
Whether it's from my birth and it's been passed down, or it's just a blessing upon our family, I have draconic powers in my blood's magic, in my weave. I can summon the same types of magic that a dragon would. I am no dragon soul. Even if that's what my father was, I just can do the elemental magics of dragons. She's a sorcerer.
Alright.
Just out of character. She's,
Yeah.
Samantha to Dusty, she's a sorcerer. In character, she just talks about the magic she does.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know what I should do with that book because it seems like it doesn't want me to touch it.
She brings it over to you. You're able to touch it just fine. She puts your hand on it. How do you feel touching it? She feels like an ick, like you just don't really like it.
Oh, because I'm just thinking in my head, like that little monk girl doing the Anya face. Like, no, nope.
I think it's you that don't like it, that doesn't like it. Whatever being is within your soul doesn't like it.
Clay's in Clay. Clay is within Clay. My soul's name is Clay.
That's wonderful.
Clay is Clay.
Go ahead and leave it on this desk here. I'm sure it'll get cleaned up by the staff soon. I'm going up to my room now. I'm sure you will be joining us on that floor soon.
Alrighty. You have yourself a good day. We'll see you next time.
So all of you today have caught up on your personal stories a little bit. This is a question I have for you that we can answer off camera if you want to. We're obviously going to move your rooms. So we'll talk about that. But then I'm wondering how much time should pass. You guys have a lot more money now. Do you want to shop? Do you want to wait for the next caravan to come in so you could read for a few days until they show up?
Theo needs to sell his shit that he stole. He's got jewelry that he still needs to sell. He's got fucking scrolls that he does not want to hold on to either.
Hold on. One of those is teleport, right?
And even like, I think even like seeing the wound closure, like with Dorik, I'm just like, Dorik, man, we gotta get rid of that dude. I know there's multiple of them, but I'm fucking tweaking, dude.
You guys are literally carrying your stuff up to the new room, and every time you like pass each other to go like do another trip, that's when you guys are talking. And then every once in a while, Clay will come back from his trip and see you two talking.
And I'll be like,
Howdy, boys.
hey, Clay.
Howdy,
What's up?
Theo. Oh, not much. Just a book hates me and started burning letters into a desk.
That sucks. I puked twice while doing a public speaking for all of the people in the saprophytic plague research.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I puked twice.
Well, that's not...
However, I did discover something new about myself.
Oh, what's that?
I can do this now, and he goes into his fungal entity.
Oh.
I think he grows, like, honestly, a foot in size as, like, all of the, like, spores kind of drop around him and then just grow out.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can do this now. I'm a little mushroom cat. I guess I'm not really little. I'm taller than Dorik now.
That is very interesting.
This feels good. I feel whole. I met a nice myconid. Their name is Light. It's so hard to
You actually did that perfectly.
To trill the L. It's very difficult. Light. They're cool. They kind of taught me that my spores that were around are just me, and I accepted that. And now I can do this.
Well, would you look at that?
It's pretty sick. I feel whole and complete. And then I puked again in front of everyone.
I don't know. Avora was asking me about the shape of my soul, or like what my soul is like.
That was one of the girls fighting the Drake with us, right?
Yeah, and she asked me soul questions, and I haven't looked much into my soul because clay is clay, and clay be clay, which clay is not bad to be clay. Clay is clay, which is good. And I don't know what souls are, really. And I don't necessarily know, because she apparently thinks that I might have a dragon within my soul.
Look,
That's not possible.
Well, according to her, it is.
How can you have dragon inside? You are just like gnome guy who thinks that you can make egg out of rock.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Well, I can make an egg out of rock.
The gnome,
Rock out of
gnome
egg.
man in halfling gnome, same thing.
Not really.
Not really.
You're the one who gets so mad when people are racist to you for being a lion.
I know. I very much know.
Okay.
A little bit hypocritical, but go on.
He was talking. He gave me this book, and it's about trying to create. I'm trying to create a magic item stone thing, but he was talking about turning egg into stone, but like also making egg.
Show me a vagina on a stone.
Exactly. That's literally what I said.
They do not have them.
I think
Plus,
Trust me,
vaginas
I've
don't
looked.
make eggs. If anything, cloacas do. So you're still
Show me the
wrong.
cloaca on
not
a stone.
You're not here.
Fucking no. Who is that? That's not
like you in order to make egg, which is living thing, sort of. Egg becomes living thing. Is egg alive?
I don't know. I imagine Samantha, that was Parmac saying that, just walking past reading a book.
Oh yeah! No, straight up.
Straight up, that's
Eggs come
something
from
Parmac.
cloacas.
That's such a
I
Parmac
just forget
thing.
about
So wait.
Parmac.
She's my fave.
Woman has cloaca inside of her?
And this is the woman who read the weird erotica.
Yeah, literally. We read all about vagina aura.
She stops, goes, I'll be right back. And
Okay.
goes and finds an anatomy book on, like, female anatomy for most, like, mammal. It's just mammalian. Mammalian anatomy. And it's, like, complete with pictures and explanations. And just... Give it to you. Walks away.
So wait, no, come back. Can you... I believe I understand. This... Look, woman has 2 rocks inside of her that create
She walks away.
egg.
All women have two
I
rocks.
need to go... I'm not
Is he
going
talking about the ovaries?
I'm not going to tell no man.
Yeah,
No.
no. That's a discovery of the century, dude.
What?
You gotta follow this train.
How am I going to get...
Why is
Next time-
Hey, should we check on Parmac? She's screaming pretty loud.
I'm so sorry.
How am I going to get over it? How am I going to get woman rocks?
It starts a really weird arc where Dorik sneaks into people's rooms at night and like tries to figure out how to get rocks.
I can imagine him so seriously coming up to like a mama level room conversation. How much would you like for your woman rock? May I buy?
Starts asking all the doctors. What do you do with female bodies? Can I have rocks from female dead bodies?
How much for you extract rock from woman?
Oh my god.
Fucking A.
I just imagine
You just reach
Dorik,
in and
like,
pluck it out?
sneaking in and like poking at their stomach is like... I'm stealing.
I'm gonna head over to the Matrix mansion if anyone wants to come.
Well, shouldn't we set up room?
Well,
You
yeah,
guys can
but
finish and then
I'm gonna take a shit before I go.
So, you guys move a bunch of stuff into your new room, and then we'll end the episode. We'll go to Matrix's study. So, the new room has a window. And
Wow.
the
I call
walls
window bed.
There's the
look
amount of
nicer.
plants, the different types of plants that I can now have because of natural sunlight.
I call window bed.
The floors and well, there's 2 beds on either side of the window. And these beds are a little nicer. Just a little bit. And there's rafters, but there's like more soundproofing between the rafters so you don't just see through the cracks of the floor up to the room above you and the same below. But the rafters have places like hooks for you guys to hang your coats and hangs all sorts of things. But it's a bigger room. There's actually end tables and a dresser and there's literally a table and a chair. Like it's only enough for like one, but you can sit there.
Are there still 4 beds in here?
In your room, no, there's only 3.
Oh.
So that allows for the extra space for the extra furniture.
It feels like, fuck, dude, I can't make my vegetable stand again. Or my plant stand.
But there's shelves and hooks. Like
oh, perfect. It's like, I don't need to. Pantheo starts organizing all of his plants that he kind of cultivated, keeping the shadier ones kind of in the corner, and then kind of actually repotting and putting in new seeds and using Druidcraft to put more light-oriented plants towards the windowsill.
So it's I want to say it's a really long room. At the end is the window. There are 2 beds at the end. And the curtain that can go around the window also can just like come out and block your head from being blasted by sunlight.
Yeah, cool.
And then the 3rd bed is much closer to the door. So it goes like dresser, bed, table. So you're not right up against the door. You won't hear people walking by. But it's just a long hallway room.
Sick.
And shelves. Lots of shelves.
Are you guys cool with all the plants that I have?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think I'm okay.
You could
with
even
it.
hang some from ceiling.
Fucking genius, Dorik.
It might help me figure out what's in my soul.
Do you think there's a dragon in there?
It's not possible.
As like Pantheo's making the bed, I think he goes in the middle again, if that's cool. He takes the middle bed.
Cuddle puddle.
And as he's like making his bed, kind of getting it all set up, he's like, "You think you have a dragon in your soul?"
Apparently that Avora does, because maybe I want to look at being a dragon monk.
What's a dragon monk?
If I remember correctly, it was called Way of the Ascendant Dragon. And I could do like dragon stuff, like I could do dragon like breath spells and stuff.
You can still say
what?
You can still say no to that. Just let me know.
But I mean, is it okay to look into it?
Yes.
Okay. But this is also a journey of me finding myself, so I'm doing lots of research and.
Hey, Clay.
What's up, Dorik?
Gesundheit.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, that was
I heard someone from
that was a
like
big old brain sneeze.
Schultz say that one time, but I do not know what it means. Just
You see a thought bubble just kind of go out from Pantheo as he's thinking about a dragon in blue jeans.
That's so funny. I love
I
that.
just had an idea for a dragonborn now wearing blue jeans.
you.
My name's Levi.
Clay.
And my profession is a wrangler.
It writes itself.
I wanted to tell you something.
What's
I'm
that?
very sorry for us leaving you twice.
Oh,
Um,
wait. Twice. I stayed back. I stayed behind that time. Wait. Twice. There was another time?
when you
guys?
teleported.
Oh, no. We agreed that we were going to go to Baldur's Gate. And was my plan.
But also, that's secondary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry also for telling strangers more about myself before you, and you just being along for a ride.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just figured you would tell me when you felt comfortable.
Which is now.
Oh.
I wanted to explain a little bit. Do you remember much of what I've said in the past?
A little bit, but I didn't want to eavesdrop or like just be all nosy and stuff.
I will not speak for Pantheo, but I'll tell you a bit of myself.
Okay.
My parents were killed when I was about 4 years old.
Dorik's parents bit the big one.
At least I believe so.
Dorik's parents are believed to have bitten the big one.
There was an attack. My family was very nomadic.
Oh, alright.
Long story short, I was taken
Okay.
to I do not like word, but the orphanage.
Oh.
Controlled by a very strong family in Luskan.
Okay. Well, why would they do that?
Their goals, they raised us in a way to become very beautiful creatures and used their bodies to make money.
Oh. Well, that's just rude.
We were the playthings of many of the Sword Coast's wealthy.
Well, that's just gross.
However, that is not the end of it. Their end goal, once person turns certain age, they sell their body.
Good.
Like what we were talking with
Ettenmeyer.
Ettenmeyer. And end goal, they get paid much money to have someone buy your body and transfer themselves into it.
Oh my. That's a thing? That's a legitimate thing?
Yes.
I thought Ettenmeyer was just on wacky juice.
No, it is. I was able to leave just before I reached of age to be sold. I was there for 16 years-ish. That is originally where I met Pantheon.
I wouldn't say was able to leave. I'm gonna say
A very nice woman helped me escape.
escaped after. Escaped after 16 years. Okay. That is rough. I'm so sorry.
I figured that letting you know straight to face would be better than telling random stranger Tabaxi and wizard from place we are not familiar with.
Oh, the only reason that got brought up in conversation is because there was a coincidence that those other people brought something up.
Oh yeah, also
those
your
times.
lady friend who is an absolute asshole.
You know what? I agree. Can we all become closer from mutual hatred towards Eularian? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do not like her in the least.
I mean, she's cute. She's absolutely cute. But what
I
happened to
think
her
that
accent?
was fake.
You guys are going to make me spiral. This is not going to be good. So we're going to stop talking about her.
That is
Well, thank
that
you.
is decent portion of it. There's more, but I figured I'd tell you at least that.
Well, thank you so much for that. I mean, you don't have to go too far. Just
I
whatever
just
you're-
turn around and I
whatever-
start making my bed.
whatever you're comfortable with. I appreciate you told me as much as you did. I'm so sorry that all that happened.
And this whole time, Pantheon was just...
At this point, Pantheo opens his book pretty early on, a couple chapters in, and he reads a passage that he tries to forget about every day of his life. That he was not alone when he was taken from the High Forest. That he and his sister were both taken in tandem, but only he got out.
Do you say this?
Nope.
Is he older or younger?
We're twins.
How old are you?
25. 25, I think?
You're 23.
23. 25.
25.
Yeah. So,
So she did come of age.
yep, she came of age, and I escaped without her.
Did you know of the...
I did. And Pantheo slams the book shut and crawls into bed to go to sleep. Inside.
Okay.
So what?
I
So
want
what
to
did
talk
you
more
read
about
out
this
loud?
off camera, but holy shit.
It came to me. I hope it's okay.
It's perfectly okay. I just have some questions. Okay.
What part did you read out loud?
He didn't read
Nothing.
that.
You didn't read anything.
No,
out loud?
I read that for the camera.
We don't know any of that.
That was like a little insight to Pantheo.
Okay, so I will not put it in my notes then because Clay did not hear it.
But Clay knows that you were there as well.
Yes, he does know that I was there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just
Right.
gonna put Panthea read this book.
But I have not.
You might have met her. I don't know if you, because we
You guys?
we were separated.
They did keep us separate.
Yeah,
So if I
exactly.
was-
Like we
if
were
I was near
separated as
you-
siblings, and I
When
don't
you guys
think
were
I.
really little, you got to see the other children.
Mhm.
But when you got into prepubescent, like 11, 12, they started to really separate you for whatever you were doing to study, your blacksmithing, your magic, nature studies. They would really separate you into separate study rooms. You had separate schedules, separate eating schedules, sleeping schedules, rooms. You were really isolated. You really only ever saw other people who were taken, like other slaves, but were much, much older than you.
It was also, I believe, a large campus, so they could like separate.
Yeah,
people
pretty
into different
easily.
groups.
So you either saw your caretakers or slaves that were in a completely different age group than you. You never saw people in the same age group as you after you hit pre-puberty. So 11, 12. But so like at 11, 12, you would see other 20-year-old slaves. And then when you got up to like 15, 16, you were seeing the young children in the orphanage. And then when you got to be about 20, but you guys left by then, yeah, that's when you would start seeing the 11, 12-year-olds. They would kind of like have you mentor each other.
Because you left way before I did, a few
I did,
years.
yep.
And then you also were brought in.
It made it harder to realize how often people had left or come in because you couldn't keep tabs on the ones.
Yeah,
who-
because we were brought in at 12, I think, is what I said earlier.
Okay, because you were brought in at like
4.
4 and you were brought in at like 12.
Yeah.
So you guys were separated immediately. So you have no idea what her life was like there.
No.
Like you didn't even see her. You would like look for her and nothing.
Yeah, I think I assumed she was dead, probably.
You're 25. How old was the tabaxi?
If I go back and watch the old episode,
Okay.
she was a little bit older than you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, because wasn't she like 28?
She was. I thought I had her like almost 30.
Okay. So probably wouldn't have.
She was close
bad.
enough to your age that she wouldn't have interacted with you, but far enough that she wouldn't have been like in the children group with you. Ooh. Oh, and remember, she was only there 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There was probably no crossover.
Okay. We are settled back into Candlekeep. We are done with quest number 2. We are going to spend a few days reading because you're waiting for the caravan to show up. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go see Lumiere in the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to read. A
Wait.
caravan's going to show up.
He's still in there having PTO.
Oh, he's got like months.
Must be nice.
And then you guys will get your plot hook for the 3rd quest.
Ooh.
So that'll be the order we do things. We are going to end here. That was amazing. Thank you very much for role-playing with my characters and with each other. Thanks for playing D&D. We will see you guys next time on Downstairs and Dragons.